Today, I want to talk about when children run into problems in a social situation. Could be at the playground, at the library, at school. How do we help them to handle some of these social situations and problems that can come up?
Children are great by their very nature, and we have the privilege and responsibility of raising them. It can be challenging at times. Let's talk about it.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Armstrong. I'm a general and a special education teacher. I homeschooled my own children for 5 years, and I talk about those things that I've researched, I've studied academically and alternatively that have helped me and my children and my students. Uh, Today, I'm going to talk about social situations and some of the difficulties that can arise for children. And this could be name calling, it could be bullying, it could be those kind of things. Those don't happen unless you are in a social situation, where other people are. And how we respond to children from the time they're young, and if we miss that time and they're older, we can still talk to them this same way to help them switch how they're perceiving a situation. So, for example, I had a student come up to me and they are telling me, oh, so and so just said that I'm mean. And it gives that opportunity to talk to them. And how we respond is so vital to how our children will uh, begin to see themselves and, importantly, to see others. And so, in this situation, what is it that we do? Children often will come to us. So and so called me a name. They hit me. They pushed me. And they'll say these things. And it's super important that we're aware of the whole situation, or that we're open to all the possibilities. If a child is truly being harmed, if they're really, truly, constantly, being picked on, these are things we need to be aware, and that would be a different situation. Um, I'm talking about those children that are constantly, not even constantly, even if it happens once or twice, um, but those situations that are recurring and part of life and not incredibly detrimental. These are those opportunities for teaching. So in this situation, um, what I did was I simply asked questions. Uh, and depending on the age of the child, you can ask deeper questions. You know, in this case, well, did you ask them to stop? And how did they respond when you asked them to stop? You know, are you taking some responsibility for the situation, um, on yourself? Not for the person calling you names, but like how you choose to handle that. Is it okay? Come rescue me. I need someone to come rescue me. And when we respond in a way that's, oh my goodness, they said that, they did that. Oh, we've got to go in there and talk to them. And like we instantly go to that, it creates um that sense for them that, oh, this is wrong. That child did do something wrong. They did judge me. I should feel um, down, or like that they harmed me. They could very easily pick up on those kind of senses when we go in and rescue them, that way in asking, well, did you ask them to stop? What did you do for that situation? What power did you take in that situation? You know, and I do thank them for coming and telling me, and so that we could have a discussion. And depending on the things that are talked about, I might go over with them and talk with that child with them. Uh, and we give them that opportunity. We want them to understand that other people don't control our feelings, our emotions, that we have control over that. And so, did we ask them um, to stop? How did they respond? And we might even go into, well, how do you feel about what they said? Do you think that's true? And well, if it's not true, then for you, then it's something about them. Maybe they have a different way of looking at things. They have a different idea of what mean is, and we can let that go. We can take that in as information, take a look at it. Huh, no, this isn't something that really truly pertains to me. It has to do with the other person. And we can teach them to let it go right then and there. It's the um, taking of that in that creates some foundational thinking and programming that doesn't benefit. If you like carry the learning or the maintaining of that program down through the years, what does that mean as they're dating? What does that mean once they're married? You know, that our spouse has to behave a certain way or do a certain thing or say certain ways for me to feel loved. Because here's the thing, people aren't perfect, people struggle. And if we feel like everybody around us has to be perfect for us, I mean, can you see how divorce rates increase? Do you see how people can have depression, anxiety, loneliness, even when they're with people, when we don't help them to learn to think about the information other people give them and to choose, well, maybe what I did could be perceived as unkind. Is there something I can do differently? So it's not just about letting go of the things that don't belong to them, but taking it in and even looking at that as, well, what could I do differently if I wanted to? You know, if I feel like this would benefit me, what could I do differently next time? So imagine what that's like to be able to have these discussions with your children, to come to understand things that perhaps you didn't understand as a child because you weren't taught, um, by working with your children, just asking questions. And what is the outcome that we want? For them to be independent, to be self-reliant, to get the help they need when they need it, and to be able to determine when those times are. And so really look at what questions can you ask to bring more clarity to the situation for yourself, to know like how much help the child might need in this situation, and for the child to help them to be self aware and to be aware of other people, but as separate from themselves. Yes, we interact, we have all of that, but what another person says is not who we are. And often that's hard for us, even as adults, to really process through. So remember, children are great by their very natures, and we have that opportunity, that privilege and responsibility of raising them.
Hi friends, Cynthia Armstrong here. Thanks for joining us today. Please make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you can see when new videos come out and like this one. It is such a responsibility and a challenge to raise great kids, and we are here to help you along that journey to make it as enjoyable and fun and fulfilling as possible. Please check out our website, www.raisinggreatkids.net, and I will leave that in the description below.